Well
pretty
done.
good.
So here we are.
Yep.
After 2 beers.
All right. Are we live? Oh, there we are.
Hello.
All right. Welcome to After Two Beers Live. This is, I told you it would be a weekly show, and here we are. We are back for our second week in a row, and we are going to do our podcast like we normally do. But we're going live as well, so people can sit in and watch. We recorded last week's show last week, a week from today, but I just released it today. So the idea is that if you watch our show,
You're a week behind.
you're a week ahead.
Or a week ahead. My bad.
Yeah. Week
After
behind.
2 beers. We recorded a week behind.
Yes.
But you hear it today.
Yeah. If you listen to the podcast, yes.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, the cool part is if you're watching the show, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to send in any comments or questions or anything. AJ and Kevin are in the studio, and we'll field your questions, and we can talk about those live on the show that will be incorporated into the podcast,
Loving it.
which is cool. So,
Yeah.
All right. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into the actual podcast, but we'll take a break about halfway through. And then we'll put up a little commercial, and you guys will see that again, and then we'll finish it out, and we'll call it a night.
But did we actually do the full intro?
No, we're getting ready to do all that stuff.
Okay. I'm like, we totally missed the This is Dutch.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
coming. Yeah.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. 3, 2. Welcome to the After Two Beers podcast. I'm Dutch Dalton, joined as always by Kimmy Gebler.
That's me.
Gebler, coming up on this week's show, you're going to show us some giblets.
Some giblets.
Your giblets.
Yes.
I don't know if you're going to show them. You're going to tell us some giblets.
We're going to tell them. We're
Tell-
not showing all.
Right. Okay. Now, the thing I love about it is these are going to be hot off the press, literally.
Oh, yeah. I didn't prepare well.
Yeah, you don't prepare at all. So,
I
anyway,
normally do.
we're going to have some A to B news. People are literally doing anything to get high anymore.
What?
Yeah, and we're going to talk about it. That's
Okay.
one of our stories. Another one is I'm going to tell you a story that should prevent anyone from ever wanting to move to Australia ever.
They're not throwing another shrimp on the barbie.
I don't care how many shrimp. I ain't going. And then lastly, a man won the lottery, but plans not to tell his wife and kids.
Do you blame him?
Right. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. Now, it is election day.
Yes.
And the reason I bring it up is if you go to after2beers.com, that's the number 2, and you can go back and look at old episodes. And on episode 95, so this was 2 years ago, we did an episode on Edgar Allan Poe,
Okay.
and we talked about
Yes.
elections
Yeah.
and how he is, they still don't know how he died, why he ended up in Baltimore. But we talked about it on that show and how it was tied to elections.
Yes.
So that's an opportunity for you to hear
And
some.
we won't talk about it anymore. You just need to listen.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, I just thought
I got
that
all
maybe that was
flustered.
it.
Oh, no, you're good. I'm just kidding with you. All right. I want to make sure we send out a thank you to our Patreon subscribers, our buddy Kevin Shook, who allows us to record these each week in the East Studios, and to our producer, AJ, who wrote half of the news stories this week. So actually 2/3 of them. So appreciate all of you. Now, Gibbler, I'm going to jump right into it. I mentioned in the intro that today is election day,
Yes.
and I know that you didn't vote.
You know what? I didn't.
You know
And
how
it's like one of the first times that I haven't.
you know how I know you didn't vote?
I don't have a sticker.
That's exactly right.
I don't have my daggone sticker. It gave me away.
Now, I did vote, but I don't have a sticker, nor did I post anything on social media about it. And that's what I want to talk to you first about, is voting in general, okay?
Yes.
is when did it become such a big deal for us to brag about the fact that we're doing something we should just do?
Should always do anyway. And you know what? I felt terrible about not doing it. But by the time I got off work and went home and then was going to go try to go vote.
No.
And I felt like it wasn't like the most important vote today.
well,
and I know that that's
yes.
not, but it is important. I know this, but.
Oh my God, you're perfect. You are literally what every politician wants to hear. And you're the reason that our election numbers in this country are down. And it's nothing bad. And we'll talk about it here in a second.
It is bad. It's the first time I haven't done it.
Well, it's because you didn't make it a priority. And I don't mean anything negative by that, okay?
Right.
Because and what I say by that is, like, if it's something you want to do.
We should make those.
You think so?
You know what we should also make?
What?
Also make?
Yeah? How many beers have you had?
This is honestly my third. But,
It should be. It's
right?
after 2
It's
beers.
after 2 beers. No. We need to make a sticker that I went and signed up for Patreon.
Oh, my God. They're limited edition. They'd have to
No.
make a dozen.
No, but can you imagine if we got a sticker for everything we did? It would be like turning back to kindergarten. I
Yeah.
went to the bathroom in the potty.
Participation trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'd love to get feedback if people are watching about what they think about the process. Because I think people are excited that they vote. I think my only comment about it is politics today is so much more in our face than it ever was 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
People love to talk about it now. People that didn't discuss it before now discuss it. It's just amazing. Now, the thing that was interesting to me was we go in today to vote. We're in the state of Indiana, Richmond, Indiana, and they scan us twice electronically. Then they hand us a paper ballot that we write on and color in squares. Now, I haven't done a paper ballot
In years.
yeah, here lately it's always been electronic.
Right.
But then I take it from the paper ballot, and then I walk over and I insert it into a printer kind of thing, and it's a scanner more or less.
I feel like you were back in the attendance office in high school.
Well, the wildest part was to me is I don't want to jump into the politics about the fairness of races and things like that, as far as political races. But it's amazing to me that we are one of the most technologically evolved countries in the world, and we do something as important as voting in one of the most ass-backward ways.
Oh, yeah.
So, and the reason I bring it up, you said that you got busy. But if it was an app that you could go on your phone and vote,
I would have done it.
you would have done it.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I didn't have to stand in line. I didn't have to, take my entire lunch hour or a whole hour after I got off of work. Totally would have done it online.
And the only reason, now most people will say that the reason they don't want this to happen is for security reasons, right?
How's a piece of paper going to be more secure than...
Well, because they're watching me fill it out. They're watching me walk over and put it directly into the machine. The concern is that the moment you put it online, that somebody could hack into it or something like that, right?
Well, who's not to hack into whatever it is that I fed that piece of paper into?
And I love that you're going the negative route about it, because I am too, but in a different way.
I mean,
You're
somebody
shooting
could
holes in
easily
it.
hack that just as well.
Here's the thing. We are so modern today in our technology and the things that we can accomplish. So as an example, I just started at a new company. I've only been there now almost a month. And I did the entire interview process up to the moment I did the physical face-to-face interview. I did it all online. Mm-hmm. At the exact same time, personal stuff here, but just being straight up, what's up, Mr. Ringley, that I was doing a refi on my house. I did so much of my house refi with doing electronic signatures.
Oh, absolutely.
And with my current work, I go on a VPN and I'm sharing my social security number and I'm sharing everything about me electronically back and forth between myself and these companies. Now, if I'm supposed to trust to pay my bills online, I file my taxes online. I can do all that online. Why can't I vote online?
It's silly.
Why can't I sit in the comfort of my home like I do when I pay my taxes? Like, people go to college now online. They earn degrees.
Voting, I don't feel like needs to be much more secure than giving out your social security number to do a credit back.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I
That
don't
was the
know the
thing that-
background checks and all of that. That should be way more secure than I feel like voting. But
Oh,
I mean, honestly, we want voting to be pretty secure.
Well,
I'm not doubting that, but I'm just saying that, yeah, I don't trust a piece of paper and into that machine any more than I would have with an app.
yeah, I think we should just do it via an app.
Let's do it.
I'm sure they got to come. Well, it ain't up to us.
I know.
Yeah. I think the fear is then you have everybody that has a cell phone can basically vote. But why would we want that? Apparently. All right. Now, the one thing I want to bring up that was really interesting. So AJ and I went and voted today. And here locally in our county, we probably had a handful. AJ, what would you say? A half dozen races that were of people running unopposed.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So let's say six to eight unopposed. We're walking out and AJ's like, I just can't believe it that people wouldn't want to run for these offices, like that these people are getting to run unopposed. And I've sat and watched people get just blown apart on social media, and all they are on a school board.
Oh, man.
Why the hell
Everybody
would you
wants to-
ever want a public office?
I'm telling you, like that was kind of what I was thinking, because obviously with our podcast, we've gone into the history route multiple times. I wonder like what kinds of things that they used to like bash each other for in like the original votes. Like years and years and years ago, I was like, oh, he didn't even hardly milk his cow. He milked his cow with the left hand.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
you know what I mean? Like, how did they bash each other back in
Oh, you wait.
early days?
I only wish I could listen to podcast versions of whatever it will be in 100 years from now. And they're going to be like, do you realize that people used to bitch about wearing a mask? I can't take this
whole
shield
suit
off
off.
because I can't breathe oxygen anymore. And they were bitching about wearing a mask.
And it was all because of their Aquanet days in the
Oh,
90s. God.
Anyway, make sure you get out and vote, even though it's too late to do it now. Like, unless you're watching us on the West Coast, which and there's probably two of you watching us, and I doubt either one of you live on the West Coast. So you don't need to worry about that. But that's enough of our seriousness. I wanted to talk about the whole idea of voting. I just don't understand why we can do everything else online except vote. I think you just got to make it as easy as possible for people. It's got to be safe and secure. But if I can do my taxes online, and if I can take a college class online, if I can apply for a new job, file a new loan, I did all of that online. I pay all my bills online,
Right.
but I can't vote online. That's wild
I
to
don't
me.
know.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Anyway, I before we jump into your giblets this week, I have no idea what made me think of this, but I was thinking about ramen noodles as you were coming in. Do you eat ramen noodles?
I love ramen noodles.
Do you love ramen noodles?
Absolutely.
I freaking love ramen noodles. Now, here's the reason I bring it up. It's the cheapest.
You're like, look at that broke bitch walking in here.
Oh no! Right.
I
Well,
bet she eats ramen noodles.
did we freeze again? Oh no, we're good. All right, cool. Anyway, I think this is a serious discussion that we should have. And if you're listening to the podcast, feel free to drop us a comment on this. How do you eat your ramen noodles? This is serious. So, first of all, what flavor?
I'm a chicken.
Chicken?
Or a spicy chicken.
A spicy chicken.
But now, if it's got peas in it and carrots, I pick those out because I don't do.
Oh, like that
peas and
bowl
carrots.
thing?
I know it's weird.
AJ
Yeah.
likes the bowl thing.
Nope, I like the square.
I like the square,
to do
too.
the square. Like I will boil my water
Boil your water on the stove?
or in the microwave.
Okay, there you go.
But no, I don't put my seasoning packet in until I actually drain a lot of that liquid because I like nice and flavorful and salty.
Salty as shit.
Salty.
That's how I like that.
I like it to give me a heart attack when I eat
All
my
right.
ramen noodles.
No, I'm serious. So how do you make it? So like, do you pre-boil your water in the
You know
microwave?
what? If I'm at home and I have time, I'll pre-boil my water. I mean, I might be poor, but I'm not too poor for some water and putting my pot on the stove, okay?
Oh, it's about time. So here's what I do.
But no, like, honestly, that's the best way, but
The best way?
it's the best way. And then you get rid of some of the starch from the noodles.
Oh, God. Are you really? Honestly, anyone that's eating ramen noodles is not worried
We're
about
worried
health.
about the starch.
You're not worried about health at that point. You're eating fucking ramen noodles, right? I mean, seriously. It's not good. Anyway.
But no, what other I do, if I do it at home and I'm, like, at home and I'm doing it on the stove, then I actually add a couple extra spices because...
And that's what I want to get into. Is how you up your ramens.
How can you up it? Like, there's so many different ways you can up your ramen noodles. But, like, if I'm at home and I'm boiling them and everything else, then I do some of, like, it's like in the shaker bottle, but it's like the little diced onions. Put a little bit of onion in there, a little bit of garlic.
Man.
And bam! Little bam, bam. I'm like Emerald with some...
Everybody turns into a Food Network chef.
With some ramen. If I had a hard-boiled egg, I would chop that bitch up and I would put it in my ramen.
Oh my gosh, why would you a hard-boiled egg in pasta?
Oh,
That
absolutely.
sounds horrible.
After it's done cooking, obviously. But
Yeah,
no. Hard-boiled egg and chicken in your ramen noodles?
That sounds
Oh,
horrible.
yeah.
I've never even tried it.
Yep, it's a Butte, Clark.
I've never. So I take my block of noodle
Yes.
and I just chuck it in a bowl, a microwave-safe bowl, clearly.
Right.
I don't do any of that stovetop shit. And then...
We're not dirtying up 2 plates.
Right?
What the hell?
What is it? And I don't have the time.
Yeah.
5 minutes. That's my time. I've been
I
cutting it back,
bet
though.
you could probably boil water in the same amount of time, though.
I don't know. But I cut back. I'm cutting... Like, I'm trying to...
Cutting back on my ramen.
I'm cutting back on my cook time on my microwave. I'm up to 4:30 now. I'm trying to see how far I can cut it back and still get the noodle to the exact softness that I want. AJ eats hers half hard. It's weird.
What?
They're like half crunchy. Like, I like al dente. These are al crunche.
El Crunche.
There's nothing dente about
Now,
them.
I can tell you that it's called an Oriental salad, where it's like, essentially, normally people that have time will, like, chop up cabbage and then whatever. But no, like, I just get a bag of, like, coleslaw. But no, you fry the ramen noodle.
You pan fry them.
You crunch up the block
Yeah.
and you pan fry it.
Yeah.
Might throw some almond slices in and some olive oil, but you pan fry your crunchy ramen,
Oh,
right?
I love it.
And you use your chicken packet and you put it in with like oil and vinegar as like your seasoning for your, and like you just do coleslaw, crunchy ramen, and you mix it together.
It sounds like we're in prison. This
I'm
is prison
telling you.
food. This is how they prison up good food in prison.
I mean, we're just preparing.
I watched a guy on 60 Days In take a bag. They call it soups, but it was ramen noodle, and all he did was crunch it up, and he ate it like a bag of chips. Yeah.
That would be so crunchy.
Well, yeah. I don't know that they got a pot and pan or their microwave in the.
Can you just imagine like taking the little square out and just like taking a bite out?
That's what more or less. But he was eating it like. I guess that'd be like walking taco, prison style.
Or you crunch it up, maybe put a little bit of
Yeah,
like seasoned beef in there.
I'm with
I don't
you,
know.
by the way. I just go straight boil, drain
Oh,
the.
Naylor said you have to crunch them up, not a block.
Oh no, I just throw the whole damn thing in the bowl. Throw the water's got to go just
No,
over the
you gotta
top.
crunch them.
No, you ain't gotta crunch
You
them.
gotta separate them.
No.
They're gonna cook more evenly.
Yeah, but here's the problem with the crunching. And I've thought about that. The moment you crunch it up, the noodles get smaller. So then when you're trying to drain it with your fork out of the bowl, because I get all the water out, I'm going straight salt.
But you're having to take your fork like you're eating spaghetti and like flip it around multiple times to get the whole noodle.
Yeah.
Whereas if you break it up, break up the block.
No.
Break up the block.
No, when you eat the big noodle like that, you feel like you're actually eating a meal.
No.
Like something poor. Now, here's the only. Now, you talked about like you
break up spaghetti.
you white trash them up a little bit. You throw some seasoning in them in there.
Throw some seasoning in them bitches.
You ever just throw a little bit of shredded cheese in there?
I've never thrown cheese.
Oh, where are
I mean,
you?
I like cheese, but
Where are
I've never
you?
thrown cheese into my
Oh
ramen
gosh,
noodles.
it's like a chickeny, cheesy madness. It's great.
It turns it into gourmet.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. All right. I want to know what everyone's favorite ramen recipes are. I love the fact that this was a topic on a podcast.
Right?
I love the fact that somebody sat around one day and says, we got to come up with the internet. And 40 years later, you and I are using it to talk to people face to face in the world
About ramen.
recipes. We should do like a ramen. We did a chili cook-off in my family this week, which I won, by the way. Yeah, I don't know.
What was your specialty? Was it hot? Was it
It
spicy?
was spicy. I used Bloody Mary mix in my chili.
Oh.
A lot of the
you go.
spices you need to get to the right spot. That's my trick. That's the kind of guy I am.
Okay.
Drew doesn't use the flavor packet. He just adds butter.
What a weirdo.
Oh, that is weird. That's gross.
Does he at least add like Parmesan to make it like
Just butter?
just butter?
Ugh. A guy like that sleeps with his socks on.
Ew.
You said ew.
Oh, I can't sleep with my socks on. So I'm not gonna lie. So over the weekend, I've had like some sinus issues, whatever, and like I know it's an old wives' tale, and I'm a little witchy sometimes, and I don't just mean being like witchy, but like I put some Vicks on the bottom of my feet, and I have to try to sleep with socks on. I could not freaking sleep. I can't sleep with socks on. It makes
Why would Vicks on your feet help your nasal congestion?
So there are so many sensory things on everyone's feet where like you can have your feet rubbed and it can help like different health issues
Yeah.
by having it's called reflexology.
Yeah.
I know some people believe in this stuff, some people don't. I just happen to be one of those that I do believe in some of this stuff. But there are certain places on your feet where if it's pressed, if it's massaged and everything else, that it can help your health. But one of the things that I like my entire life, you put Vicks on the bottom of your feet and you throw socks on, and it helps you get over colds and sinus issues quickly.
Yeah.
And typically, I'm going to tell you, I am not one that is not. I'm really not sick very often. But when I do start getting some of those symptoms or whatever, I put my socks. But no, but I can also tell you that it's not good for my mental health because I can't sleep with socks on.
Right.
I feel like a psychopath for one, but for two, like I feel confined.
It's probably because you can't breathe because you put the Vicks Vapor Rub the farthest away from your nostrils as possible.
I mean, you can put Vicks everywhere else, but like it really helps when you put it on your feet.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So on each toe and each part of your foot, there's a different place that affects. Like there's a place on your foot that like is for your liver, and we probably ought to figure this one out.
No, my liver's good.
For now.
Oh,
We keep up with this podcast.
That was the most skeptic. Like, well, I mean,
We keep up with after 2 beers, our livers are not going to be fine, and we need to find this place on our foot. Okay, I'm just saying.
Right? Gilbert's like, I'd rub peanut butter on my left nipple if I got to keep drinking.
Crunchy or smooth?
Oh, all right, Gibbler. Do you have some of your giblets ready?
So I do have some of my giblets.
All right.
Yes.
Let's do a couple, then we'll
So
take a break.
I mean, they may not be like super interesting, but you know what? We're gonna find something.
They're going to be amazing. Let's
You
do
know
a
what?
couple of them.
Did you watch E.T.? So I'm gonna tell you.
Well, of course I did.
E.T. was one of the very first movies that I ever saw in the movie theater.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
So when E.T. walked, do you know what made the actual noise? Like we're going back in technology where this was, I mean, I was 84, so
It was in the 80s.
early 80s.
Early 80s,
right?
yeah. Steven Spielberg, great movie.
So if E.T. is one of your favorite movies of all time, then you'll be interested to know that someone squished their hands in jelly to make the sound effect for E.T. walking around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I really want to rewatch E.T.
Yeah.
knowing this fun fact.
Yeah. It sounds like somebody's fist pumping or pump that too.
What?
Like a
Are they stirring mac and cheese?
like a tub of mac and cheese. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Damn it, man. Damn it, man.
That's exactly what it sounded like when E.T. was walking.
Right.
Right?
Now
It
we
was
have to
sounding
watch.
like
Now we
two
have to
people
watch.
going to town
Every time E.T.
in a hot,
took a
humid
walk.
summer night and their air wasn't working.
Like, we have high expectations for these extraterrestrials. I'm just telling you.
All right, that's a
Okay,
good
so
one.
speaking of extraterrestrial-ish
Can I,
stuff,
first of all,
ahead.
why does an alien walking across the floor have to sound like jelly squishes?
I feel like that, like, the bottom of their feet is kind of like octopus tentacles or something. You know where I mean? Where it's like when they walk across, it's like they have to like grasp onto stuff and like a suction.
Why?
I don't know. None of us really know. I've not met an alien to go, how the hell do you really walk?
Oh, how many drinks did you have before you came to the show?
Only 2.
They must have been big.
They weren't big.
I love the fact that we can have a podcast that's going out over the World Wide Web, and we're discussing what an alien's foot looks like, and the fact that we can debate. I'm like, that doesn't even. Why would an alien have suctions
I
on their
don't
feet?
know. I haven't met one.
That's
we
the
should
whole
ask 'em.
point. That's why it's so
Okay.
interesting.
Okay, so now have you watched Toy Story?
Yes.
You have children. I'm sure you've watched. You might even watch without the children.
It's better without them. They talk a lot.
They do talk a lot. Damn children's. Okay, but anyway, do you know that Buzz Lightyear's original name is Lunar Larry?
Lunar Larry.
Lunar Larry is what Buzz Lightyear's name was.
Such
yeah.
a better change.
Doesn't really have the quite ring.
Lunar Lightyear.
Lunar Larry.
Oh, even better. I
Right?
screwed it up.
Ah, it's all right. It's fine.
Lunar Larry.
Now you're laughing.
What? That's kind of like, I want to know who was sitting around in the movie. It was like pitching that idea.
Oh, we've got
Wow.
Woody here and we've got Lunar Larry.
Lunar. That sounds like a name you made up. Like you're like, I haven't come up with shit, and the meeting's in 3 minutes.
You know what? You know what sounds good? Lunar Larry.
Lunar Larry.
Lunar Larry.
And the other guy's like, oh shit, I was gonna say Buzz Lightyear. They're like, oh. Do you think they got into a meeting and they had to debate it and like Buzz Lightyear won 6-4?
Right? Well, shit.
The other guy
Lunar
was,
Larry sucks. I'm
And-
going to have to get new t-shirts made.
and Lunar Larry would have won if 2 of the guys could have voted via app. All right, let's go. with
All
another
right.
one.
I mean, we haven't talked about poo for a while.
Oh yeah, it's been minutes.
All right. Did you know that wombat's poo is cube-shaped?
Cube shaped.
It's cube.
Oh really?
Yeah. So apparently, it has to do with their digestive process and various bodily contractions.
You know what a wombat looks like, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was watching them today I found it myself down
You were
one.
watching wombats today?
Yeah, I found myself down a rabbit hole on the World Wide Web.
We're talking about wombats, and you actually watched wombats today.
Yeah, it's freaky, right? Clearly, somebody like
Got ESPN.
ESPN. You know what? It's the man. He's throwing out wombat shit. Apparently, wombats are going to be the next big thing because if you're reading stories about them, I'm watching videos.
Right?
Well, it's probably because they shit in cubes.
I mean, why wouldn't you look that up? They shit in cubes.
So it would just be different size cubes,
They're so square.
right? Oh, God, it's. Oh my God.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's horrible. It's so square. Anyway,
Anywho, how many more of these would you like, sir?
let's do one more and then we're going to take a break. We're
Okay.
30 minutes in. I will say, adding these has added time to the show, which I hope people enjoy.
If they don't, well, I mean, we at least enjoy, right?
That's right.
Okay, so have you ever just been where you're eating onion rings or some type of food and you're just like, man, I wish that I could rate these all over the world? Okay, me neither.
Isn't that what Yelp is for?
But you know where you're like, oh damn, these are some of the best wings I've ever had, or some of the best whatever, right? So the pop star Lorde,
Yeah, the Royals.
yes, has an Instagram account where she rates onion rings from around the world.
Oh,
So if you want to know where the best onion rings are, I guess we just have to follow Lorde's Instagram account.
or Yelp.
Well, I mean, we could do that too. That's a good idea too. But no, like I just thought that was weird. Where it's like, okay, like, should we start our own Instagram account on beers
Beers you've had all over the world.
or bourbons that we think that are like the best? Where we're just like rating stuff on Instagram.
I think we should do other things. You know what one I want?
What do we want to do?
I'm back in outside sales again. I'm traveling all the time. AJ and I were just talking about this. She does the same thing. I think there should be a Yelp that is just focused for
Bathrooms.
Yes. I want to know if I'm getting off at this exit.
Or should I wait 5 minutes?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like it's one friendly, not too friendly.
Has this speedway been updated to where they have a nicer bathroom, or should I hit the marathon?
Right. There should be a precipitation index as well. Because
What do you mean by precipitation?
I don't want it to rain. I guess it's more of a water. It's like there's nothing more gross than wet floor in a bathroom. I don't care how it came.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Like, I don't-
I'm like, whether like that's indoors or outdoors. Why are we talking about rain?
No, well,
Okay.
no. If it's outdoors, it's full bore.
Right.
But no, that's a big one for me. I just and then
Cleanliness, and do they have everything stocked? Are you gonna have to wipe your butt with a paper towel?
can I ask? I'm glad you brought that one up too. This is the last one. Have you ever gone into a public restroom and you can't lock the door and it's just
You have to put your foot up.
No. I'm talking you walk in and then there's just the toilet and there's like 3 of them. And like
Or no door.
no door, no wall, no nothing.
That gives me anxiety.
can,
Oh my god, that gives me such anxiety.
can you imagine needing to take a shit and people could walk in because I'm telling you,
It's embarrassing enough with a door.
as a guy, if there are certain bathrooms that you go into, there's no door. And there's a bar in Palestine, Ohio, that is called, what is it called now?
Are you talking about Sam's?
No. Sam's has got a nice bathroom.
Oh, okay. I've never been.
But anyway, no, it's Red and Roofs. It's all Red. Sharps, I think it's called now. Sharps
Okay.
Tavern. And you walk in, and there's a urinal, and then there's a commode, and like somebody could be dropping a deuce, and you could just be walking in, and they're just sitting like, "What's up, brother?"
Hopefully they're not doing their grunt face.
Oh my! Or in mid wipe.
Oh, you know what?
Can you?
Even
It
in your
happens.
personal life, even with your own like significant other, there is nothing like you don't want to watch wipage. That's the no-no zone. Complete.
This is a stranger that you've got to make eye contact to as they're. I'm telling you, welcome to being a guy. There is not. We get to pee outside, but you also have to poop in public. I can't go to jail just because I can't shit around strangers. It'd be weird for me.
No away games. No away games.
All right, Gibble. I love that how we can turn wombat poop into shitting in public. That's the beauty of the After 2 Beers podcast. All right, just a reminder to the people that are watching this live, coming back up in 5 minutes, we're going to be talking about what people are doing now to get high.
Okay.
It's very unique. Why you'll never want to go to Australia, and why a man won the lottery and won't tell his kids or his wife.
Well, that's obvious,
Yeah.
but okay, we'll
All right.
wait. We'll wait.
All right, we're going to take a pause for the cause, and we'll be right back.
Excellent.
Excellent. Welcome back. You all right?
That beer went down the wrong hole. Don't say anything.
You know what? We should do a show just on that, like little sayings like that. Sings.
Where it went down the wrong hole when it didn't go down the wrong
So
hole.
on like what hole?
Yeah, well, expressions where they come from, like that one, like it went down the wrong hole. Everybody says it,
Right.
except on Goodwill Hunting. I swallowed a bug.
Swallowed a bug.
I swallowed a bug.
Normally I'm like, oh, it had bones in
All
it.
right. Welcome back to the After Two Beers podcast. I'm Dutch Selton, joined as always by Kimmy Gebler.
That's me.
We are recording at the E Studio here in Richmond, Indiana. And if you're turning in to watch the show on our social media pages, we greatly appreciate it. We're going to record live every week. This is our second week in a row, so I'm proud of us for that.
We're doing good.
We're doing good. And then we release the audio a week later. So it's going to be about the same time every week, 7:30-ish. It comes and goes. Just follow us on our social media, and you'll see exactly when we start. And then we take the audio, and then we condense it down, and we release a podcast that you can listen to. As we've said multiple times before, when you're working out, you're driving, you're at your kid's soccer game, basketball game, whatever's coming up, throw in an earbud and you can listen to the After Two Beers podcast. The intent is that you're just out hanging out with us,
That's right.
just having a good time. AJ, you having a good time?
Always.
Yeah? Shook?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, very nice. All right. We're going to come back and do our news. We got 3 stories. Do we have anybody watching live?
We have 3 viewers currently.
Oh, welcome to our views.
Yeah, feel free to discuss at any time and throw questions, comments at us, and we'll go from there. All right, Gibbo, you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Clear your throat. Get your throat clear. Let me open this. There we go. Here we go. In 3, 2. Welcome back to the After Two Beers podcast. Gibbo, you having fun?
I'm absolutely having fun.
It seems like it's been forever, and it's only been a week.
Right?
I'm excited again.
I am. I love it. Seriously, I felt like we took too much time off, and now we're back into it. And with fall and winter, I feel like this is just going to be our good thing.
It's our. I don't have a hobby as far as a weekly task anymore. I used to throw darts, and this is our Tuesday night thing. We want people to come and hang out with us. Actually, Shook would be happy to have some people up here in the East Studio.
Yeah, let us know
If
if
you
you
wanna
want to
come
come
down
out
and BYOB, and
Right.
you can hang out with us, and then we typically go to somewhere afterwards. So just have a good time.
That's right.
We're all for that. And if that doesn't work out, we've talked about trying to go live.
You know what? I would love it.
Would you
been
really?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. It's a lot of work to put those things together.
I know, but if we're going to do live online, we might as well do live with a crowd.
Yeah, we should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. If we get support, we will be all about it.
Then we don't have to have the fake wah, wah, wah.
The crowd gives it to us for us on our own.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to jump back into old school After Two Beers right now, and we're going to jump into our news.
Let's do it.
Are you ready for the news? All right. Here's our first story. And the cool part about watching this live is I've got photos. There's been so many times I've referenced and said, we should look at this photo, right?
Okay.
And now if you watch it live, you can actually see the photos that
I
we're
want to
referencing.
see the photos.
Right? This is the cool part. All right. So here's our first story.
Okay.
The National Park Service issued a warning on social media last week asking people to steer clear of an animal, particularly the Sonoran desert toad, also known as the Colorado River toad. Is that on the screen? Hey, this is the
Hey, we told you so.
Look at that toad. Isn't it sexy? The toad can be identified due to its large size, measuring nearly 7 inches.
7 inches?
Yeah, the largest found in the United States, and it emits a weak.
Is that men's
You know,
men's length or women's length? sorry.
that's an actual.
Okay,
length.
so it's a
That'd be-
decent sized toad.
That'd be a men's. I'm gonna break your back with this thing.
Toad.
That'd be a men's. I'm gonna break your back with this thing. And I'm like, man, that's throwing some shit. He's like, I'm gonna put your ass to sleep with this.
Yeah.
Like,
She's snoozing. Ass ain't snoozing, but she's
his
snoozing.
dick must look like an epidural.
Okay, anyway, proceed. Proceed with your toad
Oh,
story.
what? You had me doing the shots.
Hey, I told you so.
Hey, we specifically state on this show that we are cautionary when it comes to the viewers that watch.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't have children around when you're watching this live.
That's what it's all about. Or I'm not going to edit that out of the audio.
Definitely not.
Right. Anyway, all right. The toad, you're the one making penis-sized jokes.
I didn't say anything about a penis.
Yes, you did. The 7-inch toad emits a weak, low-pitched toot, which lasts less than a second, which clearly makes AJ not a toad because her toots are neither weak or low-pitched. I guess they can kind of be low. It sounds like a like oompa band. Boom, boom.
Who let the tuba band in here?
National Park Service said in their post, as we say with most things you come across in a national park, whether it be a banana slug, unfamiliar mushroom, or a large toad with glowing eyes in the dead of night, please refrain from licking them.
You know what? That was exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, look at that toad. I should
Yes.
lick it.
So that's what the whole story's about. People are going around and licking these toads, but it's becoming.
Why?
Well, let me keep going because celebrities are doing this too. It's not just random folk. It is noted that the specific species of toads secretes toxins that can make people sick if ingested or touched.
They have so much money. They're so fucking bored.
Well, people
I'm just saying.
people ate Tide
apologies
Pods.
for the F bomb, but no, like seriously.
People have been risking potential poisoning as they chase hallucinogenic highs from the frog's venom, which contains bufotine and 5-MeO-DMT. Okay, obviously I'm going to butcher it doesn't matter. Now, previously, HGTV's Christina Hall, do you know who that is?
Nope.
Christina Hall? She admitted...
I watch QVC.
Yep. HTV. HGTV. You're like, I buy shit, I don't fix shit.
No.
She admitted to smoking the toad's venom to reduce anxiety. She said, smoking the bufo toad venom is a life-changing experience and different for every person.
Okay, so I have a question then. If you come across one of these toads and you're like, oh shit, that's going to help me with my anxiety, are you going to lick that toad?
Well, let me finish. She says, it can't be summed up in a post. It basically reset my brain and kicked out years of anxiety in 15 minutes.
Years in 15 minutes?
Yes.
Would you do it?
I don't know how you wouldn't.
I would slobber all over that toad. I'm just going to say, if I find that toad, I might try to locate said toad.
Guys are going to be getting tattoos of toads on their
Oh
dawns.
my God.
They're
shut
like,
the
look
hell
at the
up."
toad.
No.
It'll change your life. You'll see things you've never
Oh my
seen.
God, no, but seriously, 15 years of anxiety. Oh my God.
Oh.
If I find 2 toads, then I'm good for the rest of my life.
Former professional boxer Mike Tyson has also admitted to smoking the venom on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. He told the New York Post last year,
The what?
Prost, not the Post, the Prost. Last year, the toad has taught me that I'm not going to be here forever. There's an expiration date. Apparently, the bufotenine and the 5, I'm going to call it DMT, are considered controlled substances by the USDA. And psychedelic expert Mike Dow told People magazine last year that the hallucinogens in the bufo toad venom turns off this default mode network in the brain, which can reduce anxiety and depression. He said, so you're not thinking about things in a normal conscious way because parts of the brain are being used to think about things to save time or to keep you alive. So, for instance, they're
normal life, what it should be.
like breathing or your heart beating or things like this. So now other parts of the brain that are more aligned with the collective unconsciousness, maybe spirituality, those parts are coming forward. So people are seeing shit in their own way. And is this the thing that Aaron Rodgers
So
did?
seriously, how much would you pay for one of these toads? Like, I feel like it would be
I think that's why
high dollar toads.
Well, I think that's why people in the national parks are doing this, right? It's like Aaron Rodgers went down to Brazil. People are going down to Brazil to lick this thing, right? And it's expensive.
Do we have any pictures of people licking the actual toad?
I'm sure. You can find a picture of anything on the web.
Well, that's true.
you probably want
I'm honestly afraid to research that licking the toad.
You may want to turn.
We're not doing this thing at work during the day. I promise you that. But no.
I'm interested though. AJ's got something.
I just want to make sure he has not licked the toads yet. That's his next endeavor.
Oh, he wants to lick the toads.
Yes.
Wow.
He said
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm a Bears fan. I don't give two
He's
shits
lost
about
5
that guy.
games. He better be licking anything.
Well,
at
he
this
said
point.
Getting
psychedelics
haircuts and everything else just to try to fucking get rid of toads in his life.
What's that, AJ?
He just said psychedelics bring him back to his MVP status.
Oh, well,
Wow.
he needs to have a lot more.
I can just see this as the best pickup line for a woman that's forward.
Right.
You want to come home and lick the toad?
The Colts need how many toads to lick?
And it's amazing.
How's that tongue?
It goes both
What's
ways.
that mouth do? You want to come home and lick my toad? What's that mouth do?
Oh, I'll be interested to see where this goes. If it's good drugs, people will find a way to do it.
I think people are going to probably start using a regular frog just to be like, hey, come lick my toad.
Right? Well, people ate Tide Pods. It's going to
That's
happen.
true. Yeah.
All right, here's our second story. This one comes to us from Australia, and this is this is my worst nightmare come true. A reptile wrangler was summoned to an Australian home where a resident discovered the cause of a moving microwave.
What?
It was a pair of mating pythons.
Oh, screw that.
A video posted to Facebook shows Stuart McKenzie of Sunshine Coast snake catchers responding to a home in Boodarum where a woman discovered 2 carpet pythons in the throes of passion in her kitchen. Now, if you're watching this with us live, you can see the picture that was actually posted. These are big fucking snakes.
Oh, that's just going to cause your microwave to not work.
Oh my. Now, the reason the microwave moved is because it was on a cart, and these snakes were at least 6 to 7, 8 foot
Right.
apiece.
What the hell? You're like, oh, by the way, my microwave's not working. Oh, look at those big, giant-ass snakes.
You're like, I guess I'm going to have to eat my ramen's crunchy.
All right, let me get out the pot and pan and get it on the stove.
Now,
Because we got pythons doing it over here by the microwave.
Its tail is on the stove.
No, that looks like a washer or dryer to me.
Oh, yeah.
That's a washer or dryer. Maybe they have an efficiency apartment because
Maybe the snakes are only a foot long. Maybe it's a
No,
little
I
tiny
feel like maybe they're in an efficiency apartment where one end of the snake is on the washer and dryer and the other end of the snake is in the kitchen.
Oh, regardless, what I'm saying is the fact
It's
that
a
this
whole
shit
hell lot of
happens.
hell no to me.
There ain't no way. So here, let me keep going with the story here. The snake catching business said the woman noticed her microwave had moved and looked behind it to find the pair of mating snakes.
So you notice your microwave moved, but there's giant pile of snakes behind it.
It's huge. The post
That's
said,
not something you just miss looking at your microwave.
I can't imagine.
Like the pile of snakes looks as big as a washer.
The moment I see that in my house, I'm like, I'm moving out of this country.
Oh, the whole house is on fire.
Oh my God.
That shit is like, it's all like matches, gasoline, kerosene. It's on fire.
I want you to really-
Nail to the gnaw.
Picture that, honestly.
No,
AJ,
I don't want to. I don't want to do it.
You walk into your kitchen.
The worst thing would be like big giant spiders, like in Australia, and I'm like, no, it's not happening.
You are fired up about these snakes.
Oh, like those snakes are like creepy. If you threw like the Australian spiders in there, nope, I'm gone.
You're
done.
out?
Nope, I'm done.
The Post said that they were able to get them quickly out and relocate the two lovebirds back into the bush where they belong. Hey, lady, we're just trying to get laid just like anybody else. Hey, AJ?
We have a listener that wants to know, is that similar to two rats fucking in a wool sock behind the dryer?
It could be. It was behind a washer. And I like how Andy Floyd said those are nope ropes. I agree, bro. Those are nope ropes.
I just want to know what the conversation was like between these two snakes, and if the guy snake was like, "Hey, let's go in this house real quick. I'm going to show you my trouser snake." She's like, "You don't wear trousers." He's like, "That's my dick." And they're like getting it on in the house. Why
He's
would
like,
they go?
hey, you look a little naked. Your clothes look a little dirty. Let's wash these clothes over here by this washer.
Oh boy, we're getting deep now.
I don't know. I don't know.
Here's our third story. This one comes to us from China. A lottery winner.
How about he?
A lottery. This is the stuff that you get to see live that
The
we edited
lottery.
out. Yeah. A lottery winner in China donned a mascot costume to claim his $30.6 million jackpot.
He done to what?
Look at donned a costume. Look at this costume. If you're watching this live, it looks like a 6-foot penis.
It's a big old yellow sperm.
It's a big penis. Look at the shaft of it. And it's got the mushroom head, but it's got googly eyes. It looks like somebody found a dildo and put googly eyes on it and drew a smile face on it. The story says
Happy.
the lottery winner in China donned a mascot costume to claim his $30.6 million lottery jackpot in order to keep his wife and children finding out about the prize. The welfare lottery said the man, identified only as Lee, said he had been playing the lottery for about 10 years. The man recently spent $11 to buy 40 tickets bearing his lucky numbers for the same drawing.
And he's filing for divorce, and then he will collect on a further date.
And each ticket ended up winning $765,000 for a total of about $30.6 million. Lee showed up to collect his prize wearing a bright yellow cartoon mascot costume. He said he wanted to keep a secret from his family. I love that he showed up in this mascot outfit, And then how easy is it to get said outfit? I mean, that's a nice outfit.
Amazon.
No, look, this thing's
I
impressive.
think you can find it on Amazon.
I guess if you're a millionaire.
that's pretty sweet. You know that you're getting ready to collect a shit ton of money. So you're like, oh, I'm going to get this yellow.
Now, you want to hear
I don't even know. It doesn't even. You see penis, I don't see penis on it. Like, it has a weird tippity tip.
Well, yeah, it's got. But I just meant. Anyway.
Go ahead.
This is the most bullshit reason that you've ever heard for somebody not wanting to tell his family. He says, I have not told my wife or children. I am concerned that they might feel superior to other people and will not work or study hard in the future.
He's filing for divorce tomorrow.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine how pissed off? Wait, let me ask you. You're dating somebody. You're married. Let's say you're married.
Sorry. Go ahead.
And they win the lottery and they don't tell you. How pissed would you be?
I mean, obviously, I'd be probably a little pissed.
What's he doing with the money?
Like, did you take that money of ours? joint bank account? No, I'm kidding. But no, like seriously.
Oh my gosh. I'm blown away by the fact that he thinks he can keep this a secret. He's going to come home with
How
nice.
happy were they before said winning?
Oh, I don't know. He don't go into any of that.
No, it
but
doesn't go into that.
He said he donated some of his winnings to a lottery fund that supports vulnerable communities in China, rather. And he said,
What's that even mean?
it basically means that the state, it's a tax.
Yeah, it's just a write-off.
It's a tax they told him he had to pay. And he said he does not have plans for the rest of the money, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with his wife and kids.
Or his Amazon purchase for said yellow costume.
Oh, he's going to fly to America to go to the bunny ranch. He's going to tell his wife he got a new job. He goes, look at all this money I get me.
Champagne room. He's going to be in Privet Row in every single establishment.
Oh, he's going to have the finest ramen noodles from all over the world. With all the finest spices and cheeses that you can put in a ramen noodle. Oh, lucky guy. Anyway, Gibbler, I appreciate you jumping on the show with us one time again this week. We're going to be back next week, same time on Tuesdays. The goal is to be here around 7:30. So if you're watching the show, you can absolutely join us again live next week. Or if you're listening to the show, make sure you join us. Go to after2beers.com. You can find links to our social media pages, and you can follow us live on those. And when we go live, we're ready to go.
Yeah, what else do you have to do on a
There's
Tuesday
nothing
night?
to do on Tuesdays.
You don't have football. You don't have any kind of crazy
Nothing
awesome
fun.
shows. We're the awesome show.
All right, Gibbler. Now, we say it at the end of every show, and it's arguably the most important thing I say, but it's the most sincere, which is if you see someone that appears to be struggling, that just maybe they're just not quite themselves, just ask them how they're doing. Check in on them. Drop them a line. Stop by their house. Whatever it takes. It's getting late in the year. The days are getting shorter, and seasonal depression is going to start kicking in for people.
Yeah, not only that, but the holidays. The holidays are so rough for some people.
Oh, we're only a few weeks away from Thanksgiving.
And that's the thing, is that we're so close to holidays, and, people that have lost people and people that just, the holidays just plain suck for them. Just reach out and include them.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
All right, Gibbler. Without further ado, I guess we will talk to them all next time.
After 2 beers.